I'm 32 years old now. uh, you know, there are times in life where we get, too busy or too distracted with the daily hustles and bustles of life. So you tend to forget what really matters or what's most important. Yesterday, I was reminded of that because between all of the people who love and support me, be they friend or family, who wished me a happy birthday, whether it was over Facebook or over the phone or over a message, I could never be able to express how much I appreciate that. It really does sort of go with the whole fact that I do suffer from depression. But it's hard for me to really feel loved. It usually takes something pretty grand to make me feel that way. And yesterday was one of those times. So, from the very absolute bottom of my heart, thank you, all of you. And no, I'm not gonna, this isn't gonna lead to anything major that I know of, and I'm still not, super duper famous like YouTube or whatever. By all accounts, I really am just, your typical average guy. But yesterday I had like close to 300 people all together just wish me a happy birthday. And they didn't even need to do much. Just wish me a happy birthday. And that's all it took to make me feel happy. There was one, I want to give a shout out to one particular person who literally said that the world is better with me in it. How do you get better than that? Not that everyone else didn't have anything nice to say, it's just, that's like the exact opposite of what I had all those years ago. Back when, I was in middle school and high school. And a lot of us are now older and wiser and obviously nicer and smarter. But I really saw that one comment and I almost began to cry. And it was really convenient where I was when it happened. Not that I did cry or anything, but if I did, there'd be no shame in that. No shame in crying whatsoever. But last night I spent the evening with my mother and my father. And I'll talk more about that in a second. In fact, honestly, if I have any low whatsoever, it's the fact that there was a weather advisory last night. So a little bit after 8 o'clock, I had to head home. I would have liked to have stayed a little bit longer, but considering that it was starting to snow, and it was actually kind of starting to stick a little bit, I had to get home. I only just turned 32. I don't want to spend the rest of my first day of my new age dead, But I obviously made it home safe, as you can tell by the fact that this video is clearly being made. And I remember to call my mom and tell her, that I love her. And thank her and my dad for everything they did for me yesterday. Obviously, I also had to tell them that I made it home safely because That's my mom asked me to do, which of course I'll do. My mom wants me to make sure I get home safely, and I made home safely. That's about all there is to it. Is there any real takeaway from everything that's happened so far? Well, I suppose for starters, there is the fact that, and sometimes it really does, because I swear every year more and more people wish me happy birthday, and it can get really kind of exhausting just thanking every single person individually for wishing me a happy birthday. Some people I personally know, I took the extra effort to say, I hope you and your family have a happy new year. But that was worth it. And, my dinner last night was, if you couldn't tell, the entire day yesterday was just one big high. Just one giant, massive high. That, again, the only real low was that I had to leave earlier than what I would have liked. But if it meant getting back home here safely, I'm okay with that. I get home and we actually had 2 mom foods. And one of them is actually, because here's the thing, there is a series of mom foods I still really do need to talk about, aside from any other mom foods that I haven't talked about yet. Oh, yeah, there's still a few I haven't talked about yet. And this particular set of mom foods comes from my late grandfather. And yes, as I said yesterday, it was my late grandfather who had said he was disappointed in me on my 30th birthday. And that was, in fact, one of the last things I ever heard him say to me before he died. But I could never deny everything else he did for me for my entire life up until then. That's why I'm really hesitant about doing these particular sets of mom foods. Because, and yeah, I know, he'll never truly leave me as long as I think about him. And trust me, I think about him a lot. Sadly, it's for what he said to me before he died, but what can you do? Nope, just probably great. Listen, we all have stuff to say about people, and sometimes we have to get it off our chest before we die. But if you're going to do that, you better make sure to live with whatever happens with the time you have left. I'm just saying. So talking about these sorts of mom foods is hard. And one day, yeah, I'll definitely talk about them, for sure. I want to. But I'm not quite ready to do that yet. But I can tell you that the mom food that my he's just my regular grandfather. My grandfather did make was an hors d'oeuvre that we had. I'll just leave it at that. Nothing. Well, actually, he's made several hors d'oeuvres, but there is one that I do find truly special. Only immediate family members would know what this is. Although, I can also tell you that it really is about as simple as about 4 ingredients that you buy from the store. So, and they're everywhere. So, trust me, I'll get into that when I get into that later. Actually, technically 5 if you include the vessel that you use it with. Anyway, the other mom food that we had was the actual dinner. And I have talked about this mom food before, but I finally got a photo of it. Was my mom's Chinese pepper steak and onions. Yeah, it's just if you go to any typical fast food, or it's not fast food, but Chinese takeout place. Obviously, when you think of Chinese takeout, You think stuff like, pork fried rice, General Tso's chicken, lo mein, chow mein, like stuff like that. Or sweet and sour chicken, or sweet and sour pork, or beef and broccoli. Those are all good. I love those. But pepper steak with onions was like, outside of General Tso's chicken, pepper steak with onions is probably the Chinese food I've had the most in life. And it really is simple. I've described it to you before. Again, I have a mom food video talking about this. At least I'm pretty sure I do. Anyway, it's, cut up pieces of beef, cut up onions and cut up peppers. And you cook it in lots of garlic and soy sauce, and boom, there you go. That's all there is to it. And what I like to do is I like to put it over a rice so the rice absorbs all the juices or whatever. That's really good. And that's what I did. I tell you what though, while the sauce was maybe a little bit on the thin side, that is the closest. My mom, and don't get me wrong, I'll always say that my mom would technically be better than, Chinese takeout for lots of reasons, because, it is homemade and therefore it is technically going to be healthier. A lot of vegetables and whatever. But this is about as close to what you get at an actual Chinese takeout place that my mom's ever come to. Again, like really, the sauce was just it was like really thin sauce. Usually if you go to a Chinese takeout place, the sauce is a little bit, thicker. But this was good. This is really good. To be perfectly honest, there was some leftovers. I thought about sneaking the leftovers home. That's how good it was. So that was awesome. Anyway, after dinner, we watched some TV, and then we had a little cake from Wegmans. It was a small white cake with a buttercream frosting, which it's Wegmans and it's one of their products. I don't know. I mean, I've talked about Wegmans a bunch of times in the past. I mean, I haven't been there in quite a while, but I still can't deny how awesome that place is. So there you go. But, it was just a really nice, really fun birthday that I have with my mom and my dad. And, yeah, I am still a little bit bummed that, actually, I don't know what to say what worst case scenario would be, because again, my mom is leaving all the way out for California to see her aunt/godmother before she potentially dies, but her condition is so bad that she could die very well within the next couple of days before she even gets to go. So it's kind of up in the air to say what worst case scenario was. It was worst case scenario is that she does go and we really don't get to celebrate her birthday, or is worst case scenario that she dies before she gets to leave. It's a little hard to determine, right? I mean, if the latter happened, my mom's flight got insured, so we'd still be able to celebrate on Saturday. But I'd rather have my mom be able to go. It's the right thing to do. Again, just like I said yesterday, I've waited a long time, sometimes even years, for a lot of the things I really want in life. I mean, to tell you how much of a loser I am, I was 17 when I finally got a girlfriend. And I was about a week and a half away from turning 18 when I got my first kiss. So, yeah, I've waited, trust me, I've waited a long time for good things, I can assure you of that. But, it's worth it when you don't even, that a wait is worth it when you don't even, when you finally get, when a very long wait was completely and totally worth it when you finally get what it is you wanted. Maybe a movie came out or something along those lines. And after it's all said and done, it literally takes you quite a while to think, man, I waited all that time for this particular thing I really wanted. And I don't feel any regret for that at all. Honestly, I've waited 4 or 5 years for the kind of birthday that I had yesterday. So again, you just saw right there, I had to think about how long it was. And yeah, I do get a little emotional. But I tell you what, that wait was totally worth it because yesterday was just a great day. I really could not have picked a better way to begin my age 32 year. And I can't think of a better way to end this video other than, well, by saying, to those of you who wished me a happy birthday, thank you. You know, even though, it really was as simple as you just saying happy birthday. But just the fact it took the time to do it, even if it really wasn't that long, or probably didn't mean much, it really means a lot. That's why, you know, on Facebook, I wish everybody a happy birthday if it's their birthday. Because it's their day. You know, they need to know that someone's thinking about them. Even if it is only for, you know, a minute or two at a time. Because that really can mean a lot more than most. At least that's the conclusion that I came up with. But maybe someone else could interpret that as something else. So with that said, I think I'm ready to start counting down to the end of 2021. And I hope the rest of you are too. Because, yeah, 2021 was better. Especially when you consider what happened the year before. But I think 2022, we're going to be in for some special things. I really think we are. But we can't really say for certain unless we get there first. So I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys who watched and enjoyed for today. I'm very hopeful that we all have a wonderful Wednesday. Oh, sorry. Happy Hump Day for those of you who are waiting for me to say that. You know, hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. And let's begin preparing for the end of 2021 and starting 2022. And remember, between now and when that year starts, always remember, if you ever want to talk or say anything or you just want to, you know, chat, you know, I'm always going to be here to listen to what you have to say. And if you need support, especially if you've supported me, I got your back. So take care. And again, I need to emphasize this, especially on New Year's. Make good choices. See ya.